Let's check the numbers right now as we go to the tail of the tape. At 31, Chavez is 5 years older than Holligan. Just a half-inch height advantage for Chavez. The weight, Chavez 139 1/4, Holligan an even 140. And the reach, Chavez at 67 1/2, Holligan 66. To the WBC rules for this championship bout, 10-point must system in effect. There will be 3 scoring judges, of course, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. We are set for the introductions and pre-fight festivities, so we send you back to Puebla, Mexico, and our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos aficionados al box al Estadio Cuauhtemoc en Puebla por el título peso superligero del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Puebla, Mexico for the main event, the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council. Presidente José Suleiman, Supervisor Osvaldo Bisbal. Representando la Comisión de Boxeo de Puebla y de México, Edgar Ramírez, Antonio Murrieta, Emilio Gamboa. Presentando a los jueces, introducing to you the judges at ringside, Chuck Hassett, Nicholas Hidalgo, and Dalby Shirley. And the man in charge of this bout, working in this, is 109th world title bout, el referee es Arthur Mercanti. Bien amigos, esta es la pelea principal de Furia Explosiva, batalla en Puebla de 12 rounds. All right, fans, here we go. The main event of the evening brought to you by Don King Productions. Damas y caballeros, señoras y señores, ladies and gentlemen in attendance, and boxing fans joining us around the world, it's showtime. The WBC Super Lightweight Championship scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, el peleador de Liverpool, Inglaterra, y con un peso de 63 kilogramos y 503 gramos. He weighed in at an even 140 pounds, con récord de 21 victorias, sin derrota, y tiene 15 ganadas por knockout. His fine young record includes 21 wins, no losses, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the British and Commonwealth Super Lightweight Champion, currently ranked at number 4 WBC Super Lightweight contender, presentando al retador número 4 en el mundo, Andy Hands of Stone Holligan. Y su rival, el campeón en la esquina roja, presenting his opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing blue trunks with white trim, y representando Culiacán, Sinaloa, México. Con un peso de 63 kilos con 100 gramos, he weighed in at a trim 139 1/4 pounds. Con un sobresaliente récord de 88 victorias, 0 derrotas y un empate, tiene 76 victorias por knockout. This tremendous record includes 88 wins, no losses, 1 draw with 76 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 5-time world champion in 3 weight divisions, the defending WBC Super Lightweight Champion of the world. Demos la bienvenida al sensacional e invicto gran campeón mexicano, Julio Cesar Chavez. Referee Arthur Mercanti.
Good evening, Julio and Andy. You both received your instructions earlier in the day. We hope you will obey these rules and enforce them. Big hands now, return to your corners to wait the starting bell.
So this crowd of better than 35,000 at Cuauhtemoc Stadium in Puebla, Mexico. Getting set for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. Julio Cesar Chavez versus Britain's Andy Holligan, undefeated at 21-0 with 15 knockouts. Holligan's straight ahead style, such as it is he walking right into the jaws of Julio Cesar Chavez?
Well, Chavez is such a superior boxer. He knows how to soften a guy up. He calls himself hands of stone, but he's against jaws of stone. So let's see what develops.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to need hands of stone to be effective at all, and a jaw of stone to just survive, because Chavez is very accurate, and already
he's rocked.
And he's in trouble.
Andy Holligan is rocked by Julio Cesar Chavez.
One good hook, and it set him back on his heels.
Chavez with the reputation of starting in deliberate fashion, accumulating punches, but he comes off a second-round TKO. Granted, the opposition was questionable, but it looks like he is going to come out here and try to end this one early.
Chavez style never varies. He goes to the side, really hard hooks to the side, jabs to the stomach. Just when you least expect it, it's up to the jaw and over and out. Just watch this beautiful hook to the side, always to the side.
Something that we normally don't see, though, is Chavez backing up. Somebody actually pushing him backwards. He's so strong that he's almost always on the attack. So this is something new for us, although the other fighters not being that effective. Holligan's having his problem.
Well, Holligan, in order to do some fighting, he's got to do some punching. He can't just receive.
Holligan rated number 4 by the WBC as a super lightweight. Has defended the British and Commonwealth titles 3 times, but this is a different story against the punishing complete package Julio Cesar Chavez, almost surgical-like with his pinpoint precision.
And he seems to step it up a notch when he's before his home crowd in Mexico. Anytime he fights in Mexico, Chavez seems to fight even better than he does outside.
And on Thursday, he led hundreds of young fans on an early morning jog through Puebla, a city of 1 million people. He's already a national hero, and this just adds to it. Chavez people handed out 2,000 tickets to children in the city's main square. Chavez sponsoring free meals for a local orphanage. And he announced a $100,000 donation to buy Christmas toys for kids in his native Cuauhtemoc. They love him in Mexico.
Holligan came to fight. He's taking it right to Chavez, mixing it up on the inside where he can, trying to use a little of the Chavez medicine on Chavez himself. A couple left hooks to the body, ripping some uppercuts inside. A game fighter, but doesn't appear to have the tools to even last a 12-round fight when Chavez is in a bad mood.
Well, after a rocky start, Holligan gets through round 1 against one of the all-time greats.
You've got to use the jab and not stand still. Do you hear me? Hey, you've got to bind the jab and don't stand still. Do you hear me, lads? How do you feel? You've got to weather the storm. Storm's got later down. Do you hear me, Andy? You're backing them up now, but you've got to back them with the jab. You're walking forward to them.
Here's this unusual Chavez. Continuous left hook to the head. Look at that. Already he's back on his heels. Holligan has never seen or been in anything like this. He still seems in a bit of shock as he's being lectured to.
Don't walk forward on nothing, hands. Do you hear me? You're backing them up, but you're not breaking on nothing. Do you hear me, hands? Feel good. Have you out? Feel good, Andy Holligan.
Round 2. Holligan has never had a professional fight outside of England, and he's fought little this year on top of the fact he's going up against a legend. He's had only 1 fight in '93 back in May, a second-round TKO of Lorenzo Garcia in Mansfield, England. Still, he said he didn't hesitate to challenge Chavez. Holligan said it's one of those things you don't say no to. He feels he has a good chance to pull off an upset of Chavez. He likes to come forward. I like to come forward. He's a puncher and I'm a puncher, said the game Holligan. But as history tells us, Chavez has handed out some brutal beatings to overly cocky challengers en route to the 88-0-1 record.
corners told him, keep a jab out there in front of you, but he is not keeping a jab. He is not keeping it because he doesn't know how to put it out there without getting killed in return. And he is being too cautious if he's going to fight a busy man like Chavez. He's got to get some action in there.
Well, right now he's got some clean punches landed on him, and he feels the wrath of Chavez, and I think defense is more on his mind than offense, and that jab is kind of staying close to home.
Holligan often stands toe-to-toe exchanging punches, and against Julio Cesar Chavez, that could be the end.
That's about 5 straight hooks in a row, and you can't take too much of that.
He's going to earn his money tonight.
Holligan won't run. He'll stand in there and trade hard punches with Chavez. The general consensus of opinion in Great Britain is that Holligan has a better chance of upsetting Chavez than most. But that's Great Britain.
I was going to say, but that's limited to one island in this world.
What a proud island.
Where it's early in the morning, the wee hours of the morning in England, as the fans are tuned in to see their hero, Andy Holligan, against Julio Cesar Chavez.
I'll tell you, it's been basically head-to-head, ripping on the inside. Obviously, Chavez is more accurate, the fighter doing most of the damage, but Holligan's in there trying. He's still working and digging, but not really being effective. He's not got a lot of leverage on his punches, mostly arm punches.
And his face is getting very red from the punches of Chavez, which are hard and unceasing. They just keep coming.
Red and ugly.
Final seconds of round 2. Chavez 12th defense of the WBC super lightweight title.
Some of that head-to-head, you know, that could result in a cut. They have been butting heads there. Not badly, but they have been putting their heads together, and that could result in a nasty cut. There is the hook to the side, and if there's one thing you're going to remember this man about is that he never forgets that hook to the side. That is his trademark. Not much happening in the corner. They seem to be satisfied with everything. They say, watch the bumping of the heads.
You can see the blanket on the back of Holligan. Temperature now in the mid-40s. Round 3 in one of the most talked about fights in recent memory. Back on September the 10th, Chavez showed he was mortal against the quick counter-punching Pernell Whitaker, who fought a brilliant tactical fight. A lot of side-to-side, came in from angles, and it seems, at least to this point, the fellas, that Andy Holligan has not learned from that fight. He's just coming straight in. That's his style.
I don't think he can do anything else. I don't think he has the ability to move like a Sweet Pea Whitaker. Whitaker just fought the perfect fight, and you know, I said it back then, I say it now. I think he beat Julio Cesar Chavez, but Holligan's just going to do what he does and hope for the best, and that's all he can hope for.
Well, Chavez would suffer the first blemish on his record, a majority decision draw with Whitaker, but he is still a mind-blowing 88-0-1, a staggering 25-0-1 in world championships, and currently the longest uninterrupted champ in boxing.
Look at that. Look at the way that Chavez is able to put together combinations, calmly stepping back, reloading, and letting go again. It's wonderful, wonderful exhibition for a champion. The thing that surprises me about this guy is he loves to fight. I mean, here after that huge fight, and it was a big fight with Whitaker, 3 or 4 weeks later, he fought again. That was just a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it's amazing how this guy likes to fight.
He's certainly not an idle man in between his big fights. He likes to stay busy, likes to keep in shape and keep his mind focused, as well as his body, and you see what the results have been.
Most professional fighters will go about 3 times a year. Julio Cesar Chavez fights just about every 2 months. After the Whitaker fight, October 30th, he got back into action. A 4th-round TKO over Mike Powell in Juarez, Mexico. And now, less than 2 months after that, here he is against Holligan. Arthur Mercanti, the illustrious one, his 109th World Championship fight, is presiding.
And you can tell how good Mercanti is. You don't see him. I mean, you can call a whole fight and never call his name. He is a superb referee.
The pride of Long Island, New York.
And a wonderful man on top of it.
One of the class acts in boxing.
I see a little bit of blood spattered around. I'm assuming it has to be Holligan's, but I can't see where it's coming from just yet.
It's coming from everywhere. He's oozing blood throughout his whole face there, and it's getting smeared all over Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, the combinations that have landed are enough to break open some cuts.
Body shot attempted there by Andy Holligan, but having no effect on Chavez. Now, combination to the head by Chavez, who does have Holligan's blood splattered all over his face, body, and trunk.
Let's look at a master at work. Let's look at, there goes that left hook to the side, left hook to the head. Pulls back, reloads, and he's right back in his face again. Another combination going. I mean, how do you beat this guy? The only way to do it is like Sweet Pea did, and that is motion. Now, what's happening here is they think his nose is broken. They've been putting ice, they've been putting packs, adrenaline packs up his nose and telling him not to blow his nose. It is what you do in the corner when you think a nose is broken.
I see if his competition had been a little stiffer, it ought to be flattened and well beat up like mine.
Round 4. Chavez always coming forward, relentless, economical with his punches. Vintage Chavez is an overwhelming assault, and perhaps no better finisher in the sport today.
You cannot doubt the heart of Holligan. He is there. He's got a lot of heart. He's taking a big shellacking, and he keeps coming on. But there is a vast difference in class here.
Holligan out of Liverpool, England. Youth dream of a way out of that economically depressed city by becoming either athletes, professional stars from the world of sports, or musicians. I believe a group by the name of the Beatles. The Fab Four came from Liverpool.
And all 4 Beatles together couldn't beat Chavez.
Even with Ringo?
All at the same time.
With Ringo and bats.
Well, Chavez continues to have his way against the game Andy Holligan.
Chavez appears to just be not playing with him, but not really trying to end it quickly. Just kind of relaxing, getting some work, putting on a nice show for his people in Mexico, but not really doing anything with seriously bad intentions at this point in time.
I think he took a very hard shot at it in the first and second round, and he's cruising a little bit now.
Ooh, a low blow there by Chavez. And Holligan just keeps on coming forward. Well, they like that jab work. There's a right hand by Holligan. But back comes Chavez.
Could have been the worst thing he did is land a good clean shot and get him mad.
Well, he was content to just while away around. He got hit and it triggered off something in his pride.
Holligan won't get much by punching that head of Chavez. It seems impenetrable. Less than 30 seconds remaining in round 4. It is scheduled for 12 for the WBC Super Lightweight title. And the chance of Mexico in Puebla. Doubling up on the left is Chavez effectively as we head for the bell.
Hard time.
Adiós, Julio. Tenemos que rematar la faena, Julio. Tienes que hacer un esfuerzo más. Cuando lo tienes ahí, mira, vas a cambiar de posición para dejarle ahí fuera de baraje.
They're telling him, don't wait to just see the opening, but just let it fly. In other words, do what you're doing right here in this replay. Just let a combination, let your hands go, and you'll stop this guy. And of course, that's good advice. Although he's reached a point in his career, like Ali, that he doesn't need a corner, he just needs a mirror to talk to in the corner. He knows what he's doing.
Fight stayed pretty much at close range like this the end of the round, and Holligan is still in there, still trying, still landing a few shots, and at least in a minor fashion, irritating Chavez.
Let's go. 10 seconds, Andy. Come on. Do your work and go.
Upon the urging of Arthur Mercante, we're set for round number 5. So let's see what happens here. Will Chavez step it up and try to end it? Win, lose, or draw, Chavez showdown with Whitaker for the mythical title of best pound-for-pound fighter. Unquestionably gave him the most global publicity he's ever had. Interesting, despite his monstrous success and universal appeal. Look at that right hand. In the boxing community, the average person in the street still didn't know who Chavez was pretty much until that Whitaker fight.
Well, I'll tell you, Holligan got his attention with that right hand, and something that's interesting, but if Holligan can keep this type of pace up and his chin holds up and he doesn't cut up, we could at least have an interesting little night ahead of us.
Chavez, keep your punches high. Let's go.
Chavez being cautioned by referee Arthur Mercante for low blows. Holligan face all bloody, comes in with combinations, doing no damage to Chavez, who just ducks away.
Well, he's having his best round up to now. At least Chavez is not punching back, and he's standing still, letting this guy get off his shots and get brave. Holligan's taking advantage and doing well for himself this round.
Good shots by Chavez. Holligan standing right in there and taking it.
Chavez always starts a little slower and starts to close not only the fight, but the rounds, in each of the rounds as the fight goes on, stronger and stronger. That's where everybody else fades, and he just gets better and better.
Yeah, he just grows like a little monster, like Rosemary's Baby. He just keeps throbbing away, getting bigger and bigger each round.
Well, these exchanges are really taking its toll on the challenger, Andy Holligan. His face all red and bloodied. Again, Chavez landing with vicious combinations to the head. And you got to wonder the accumulative effect on Holligan.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know about his hands, but his face looks like it's made of stone right now. Red stone, but stone.
Yes. And again, Chavez connecting. The crowd coming alive. Perhaps sensing something.
Yeah, he's almost right, almost ready to go. Holligan is taking an inhuman amount of punishment.
Big finish here to round 5 by Chavez. How much more of this punishment can Holligan take? Arthur Mercante is looking very closely at the challenger.
No, you're all right.
This is the kind of punishment that I don't think Holligan's going to be able to. That was a good right hand that he landed that started to get the attention of Chavez, so that Chavez then put on some kind of big licking on him. it's almost too much to watch. Or Canny watching very closely. I don't think they're going to give up in the corner, but he's got a broken nose. He's got his eye cut. It wouldn't surprise me if they stop it in the corner. I think they did.
And that is it. You are correct, Bertie. It is all over. It ends between rounds. And Julio Cesar Chavez retains his championship in Puebla, Mexico.